Hello guys and welcome to another Medcasts The Path to Glory 2v2 tournament hosted by Bronzepanic, and today we have Series 7, which is Triomancer versus Boats and Joes, and that is Jamie and Burn15 versus khanomancer and Trionega. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome to game 1 between Triomancer and Boats and Joes. First map, AOD's set sub map, and we have Jamie in the top left in red, Burn in the bottom left in green, Trionega in the bottom right in the orange colour, and khanomancer in the teal. Do believe they're all playing Nod. We will see. Yeah, it's a full Nod matchup, so this is going to be a bit hectic. We will see buggies and bikes on every flank possible. Everybody's starting out with the minis, and then the flamers as the anti-scout. khanomancer opting for this south side ref first. We can take a look at each scouting path. Jamie does escape through one of those flamers. Makes you wonder if Kano's got a backup. So he doesn't want to let him get the scout. We see the third ref from Jamie. We haven't seen the third ref from Burn yet, so he might be going strip. See the third ref from Trionega, but he has gone to second power. Sorry for the stutters, there is a problem with this mod when I first load up. We see the standard free ref from khanomancer 2. Nothing too big happening just yet. We will see all the strips come up relatively at the same time. I would say Burns is about to come up. There we go. Jamie getting a nice bit of damage done with that flamer. It's better done on a power plant this early game because it can delay a strip time. Burn immediately getting these buggies across the map. He does want to scout Trionega. Jamie going for the crawl to the north tip. These buggies are trying to get their value of just getting the flamers. Kano opting to go to the centre. This is interesting. He can go ref, hand a nod and turret into Jamie. Burn now on 4 ref. Still making buggies, so is Trionega. They're all still making buggies. We do see a little bit of a buggy showdown. There is more units for Jamie, but he didn't take an attack there. He was on move command. Feel that played into Kano's hand a little bit there. We do see Trionega and Burn fighting for this south side. Trionega is going to try and crawl into him. We are going to see turrets versus turrets there, and we do see Kano with the turret against Jamie here. Unfortunately, Kano is letting Jamie get a bit too far ahead in the economy. He's 5 ref versus 3, and we only see 1 strip from both players. Burn with the very defensive turrets. Nothing's really going to get in here, especially if it's only buggies. Might want to think about this path in the middle down to the MCV. Not sure what Kano's building at the moment. He does still only have 3 ref. There it is, there's a 4th ref in the middle. It would be cool to see him mine this out and go for like an obelisk and see if it can take all this out. But that's probably wishful thinking with 4 nods in the match. There we go, we see the turret wars now. Trionega a little bit late to counter attack that turret. You do have to force fire the turret onto the opponent's turret. It won't fire on it automatically because it is a building. Burn15 with the inferior numbers. Trionega sees that that's the case, and he's going to go for a little bit of a wander between both players. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to get himself sandwiched in a minute. And against 5 light tanks, you don't want to be in that situation. So he's getting out of there. That's a smart move. Taking a buggy while he's at it. Nice little pick off. Kano Not really sure. I'm guessing he was shooting the infantry, but he could have gone for either the turret or the harvester. The harvester was probably the better target. A nice little duo on Jamie's units there. Jamie does have this turret crawl. He can just keep coming into Kano's base and force him to defend here. Do you see Trionega still going buggies even though he sees his opponent going light tanks? This is a problem. There is nothing really on the field to defend against those light tanks other than a few of Kano's bikes. Jamie with a 6 ref now, can probably see the second strip, there it goes. It won't surprise me if he gets maybe in one more ref and then sells off, because probably the max eco is going to get this game. Burn could have probably gone for his 6 ref by now. We do see Trionega, he is stifled on 4. We could get another one in the centre here, but the turrets would obviously harass the harvester, so that's kind of out of bounds at the minute. The only thing else he can really go for is just contest this. But this is the problem you find when you don't try and take this earlier. Is once I get turrets in here, they take this tib and this tib. Same here. If Jamie puts some turrets here, there's no way Kano could mine this. You see Jamie trying to trade off for these turrets. It is interesting. Trionega is helping Kano defend the top as well as Kano defending the back. This does allow Burn to bring up his light tanks to a position in the middle of the map. Now Trionega does have his buggy stuck here. Trionega getting some value out of these buggies, to be honest with you, but I think Burn15 is just happy he managed to get the ref snipe. You see the forward hand and nod. We are going to see some more turrets. That hand and nod is normally for the infantry to defend those turrets. We see the MCV snipe on Burn15 from Trionega. That is a smart move. It looks like he's going to go for Jamie's now. He might not get it because there is reinforcements right next to it. Burn spending his cash on minigunners, so he's going minigun a light tank. In nod versus nod, as long as you're spending your money, it's worth it. Minigunners are definitely worth it against someone who accidentally move commander units past you. Obviously, the minigunners do shred units. They're arguably one of the best defensive units, in my opinion. So we do see Kano and Trio trying to keep this centre, but Kano's no longer mining from this, and this harvester is going to die to the turrets like I said was going to happen. Unfortunately, Burn15 has played very well and locked Trionega out of a lot of Tiberium. We do see Jamie still pushing through this north side. He does still have his MCV on 6 ref. Not sure why. Maybe he just wants some turrets. We do see the bikes coming from Trionega. He does need to go mass bikes against light tanks like this. But what he also needs is a couple of hand and nods, because that's a lot of infantry. You do need flamers to back your bikes up, especially against that many minigunners. Probably 30-40 minigunners there. We see Jamie countering that dive. Trionega and Kano trying to hold Kano's base because he is under siege from Jamie. We're also trying to hold this middle. The minigunners are coming in on the south, but one-handed nod here would stop any type of these minigunners coming in. That's an interesting sell and repeat. We'll just slow the game down a second, excuse me. So we see Jamie now trying to dive into Kano's tib area. He is going to take the trades with the refineries. He can do because he's so far ahead in eco, and he does have the double strip. Kano has lost his. There comes the new strip. He's probably going to be wanting to sell the MTV because he has no money to build really off this strip right now. He's only got 500. It will be one of those desperation sells, that's for sure. I mean, I think Jamie's going to force him to sell it soon anyway. He did get the engineer in. That is cheeky. So Kano now down to just one ref. But it is harvesting what Trionega has invested into getting as well. That hand and nod is perfect. He just needs to get some flamers out, but he doesn't really have much money. He does still have his MCV, but he can't really do anything with it. So he might as well probably sell it at this point in the game. You see Jamie really giving it to Kano now. Obviously he does have to 2-strip production in comparison to just the one from Kano. You see those minis did get rid of that hand nod and the turret. He didn't have enough money on the flamers up front. Kano doing well to hold here. That turret is serving him quite well. All his trios forces, they are working in a synergetic way. Don't really see much synergy from Burn and Jamie, but they have their own little. They're pretty good in what they do anyway. It's interesting to see Burn go with a light tank mini. It's quite funny. He is opting out of those light tanks now. He's going buggies. There isn't a lot of Tib left on the map, to be honest with you. It does look like it's going to mine out soon. This is a part of the game where it gets a bit frisky. Whenever he starts mining out, you've got to really take care of your units. Oh, still got the explosion off, but he didn't get the flame cone. Oh, he needs to get these infantry that was doing the damage to the strip. It didn't get the cell either. Trionega now down to infantry. Kano's still holding on, but you do have 2 nods down to very low production. I feel like this is definitely in Jamie and Burn's favour. See Jamie taking the dive on the turret, so he's feeling confident, but it's going to trade really well for Kano. I can imagine Kano's kills are quite high. They're definitely a lot higher than Jamie, but Jamie's been the aggressor, and you do get a relative defender's advantage in nod versus nod. Trionega with the most kills, but Burn is feeding him them kills with all these mini gunners. Burn killing in mass. He does like his infantry. We know Burn for his infantry builds, all-in builds and stuff like that, so he probably feels comfortable using that type of strategy. You see Kano having to pull back, sell a few things, pull back to his 1 strip and 1 ref. See Trionega's basically out at this point. He has only got infantry. He's going for that ref dive. The refs aren't really the interest in the minute because the map's pretty much mined out. He'd want to try his best to get the 2-handed nods in the strip, but it's going to be almost impossible at this point in the game for Trionega. Jamie making a dive on Kano's eco, but that's because his harvesters are going here because that's all that's left on the top side. Kano making a really good trade against Jamie. Jamie looks like he's running out of money and steam at the same time. Kano's been playing very well defensively. Trionega's harvesters causing a bit of a ruckus, but here comes Kano's units. They are going to take nice trades while they're going for these harvesters. I think Kano should have probably stuck with that, because if these did continue to attack these harvesters and these buggies were in there, he could have took out this entire army by now. He could have got trapped in here, as well as the remaining parts of Burn's army in the centre. It's quite interesting. I think Kano could have probably won that, but there's a lot of reinforcements from Burn at this point. Not so much from Jamie. Jamie's really struggling on that eco front now, but he has been throwing away units at turrets meaninglessly, and it's now biting him in the butt. You see the little minigunner spam. This is a terrible position to attack with minigunners because the flamers are just going to come and wreak havoc. Wow, AOD's map pretty much mined out apart from Kano's area. Kano is the only one mining, basically. The other harvesters are just eating little dregs from the Tiberium trees. Ironically enough, Kano mining at slower speed has helped him in the later game. It won't surprise me. I mean, Trionega managed to get more damage on Burn. I reckon Kano could have won the fight between himself and Jamie in this position, just because of that eco. And that's game number 1, and it did go to Jamie and Burn. I'll just update the score 1 second. So 1-0 to Jamie and Burn. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Let's hope it works this time. There we go. So you can see Khano absolutely ripping it apart with the best kills to harvested ratio. And what you got to remember is the only reason why Trio had so many kills, the same with Burn, is because there was a lot of infantry usage between these two players. So Khano having this amount of kills with this low eco, I would probably put him at the best player in the game, despite obviously having that low eco. But yeah, it was very close towards the end when it all started mining out. Burn with some fantastic light tank and minigunner strategy. Very fun to watch, it's very different. But yeah, I'll see you in game 2. Welcome back guys, this is Series 7, game 2 between khanomancer and Trionega versus Jamie and Burn. Burn is the type of man that will thrive on a map like this. Low eco, short rush distance. He loves it, he loves his barracks all-ins, low eco strip builds. I'm surprised he isn't playing like some kind of GDI, he does like to play both factions. He probably just prefers Nod with it being a tournament. As you see, it is a quadruple Nod disaster again. Let's have a look at the, sorry about that, let's have a look at the vision. So the players are aware of these little like side paths.
Building. Construction complete.
Relatively even scouting from both sides of the map, so neither have found much interesting. Trionega opting for the free ref, but like I told you, Burn here, he's a legend, he's going for the 1 ref strip. Jamie opting for the free ref as well. Jamie does look like his macro. He's not more of a rusher, he does like his macro quite a lot, so you will see him often go for the standard ref builds or higher ref before strip builds. Immediately a bite comes out. This looks like he's going to try and snipe some buildings. He's going to get the scout, he knows what Trionega's up to. His bikes can't really do anything for me because his infantry are in the middle. Flamers will kill bikes in a couple of hits, so he does have to be careful. Burn's looking for that half block and slight harassment, but he has scouted everything on the map, which is very good, especially for Jamie. It's given Jamie a lot of information that he can deal with his macro build. Okay, we see the harvester block, very smart. Gonna lose the bike though. I don't know why he's re-microed this, but he is going to get it in there, but that's going to mess with the AI at this one too. He has got that turret up in front. It might have been best served a little bit further down. Obviously you get that +1 range on the turret shooting upwards. As you see the turret fights here. Khano's got the better turret placement, but he hasn't yet targeted it. He has now. Trionega holding on very well in this south part, but we see a free ref strip all in. Did he get a comms? That's the question. We might see flame tanks if he got the comms. I didn't see. Backcaster. Jamie on the 4F. Khano also on 4F. Strips in like a really bad placement when these turrets are about. He needs to go bike, get rid of these turrets and reset himself. So basically, he needs to be on top of the turret count. So he's going to have to take a poor choice here just to keep the strip alive. Trionega now on 5 ref on a map that can barely sustain 3 in the starting zone. Probably a poor choice, especially with Khano having 2 on the centre bit as well. Do you see Jamie pinning in Khano now? Khano doesn't have much of a choice. Jamie's got money for days as well, they can keep building these turrets. But do you see Burn's in a bit of a sticky situation, but this flame tank's doing a lot of damage. It does get the harvester kill. Trionega's in a position where he needs either light tanks or bikes, because you don't want these flame tanks getting in. The problem with flame tanks isn't that they're high damage, but the fact that they can output the damage before you kill it. So even if you do have the counter and you're not going to kill it fast enough, it's still going to get damage on you. You see kind of taking fights he really shouldn't be at the minute. Obviously, once his strip's gone, he can just back up onto his MCV placement. It does give him a bit of time before he does have to engage these turrets. But he decided to do it now. This is kind of working out now, because Jamie's fallen behind, but he just doesn't have a strip to assist these turrets. He could probably put a hand and nod here, or a bit further down, just to try and stop this base dive. We do see the flame tanks harassing Trionega on the south as well. I feel like Jamie's kind of wasting the HP on his units doing this. There's no real reason for him to be in here now. Again, the turret's not being microed on this. He could have had this killed by now. Flame tanks did get in on Trionega's base. Kind of still taking the fight with minis, but he does really need that strip. All that time that he was just having the two turrets here, he didn't get the strip back. He did end up building a couple of hand and nods instead. In this position where he's only got buggies, you can go one light tank into buggy and obviously sit more defensively and let them keep crawling into you and wasting money crawling into you, and hopefully you can even it out. Obviously, I do think Kano has the better eco towards the later game because of these long mining refs of Jamie's. We do see Burn now overrunning Trionega. He has lost a lot of units and flame tanks, and now the buggies are going to come in and finish him off. Burn being down 2 refs versus Trionega has managed to pull it back with those flame tanks. They are very strong if you can't get rid of them fast enough. Jamie's still putting on that aggression. I feel like Kano shouldn't let him get this. He needs to get these buggies up. You need Jamie to be wasting units like this. This is a good surround by the minigunners. That's brilliant. He's going to lose this turret unless he gets a flamer. It does have money for one. There it is. Well defended. But that is going to die to those bikes. For now, Trionega has held Burn off. But Burn looks like he's going to go for some small little back attack on the eco of Kano. Kano doing very well to hold on right now, considering how Jamie was up in his face a minute ago, especially getting that strip snipe as well. We do see one of Kano's harvesters getting ganked by Burn. Jamie's coming for the pickings. He did get it. This is the problem with this map. Once you start harvesting in the centre, your harvesters are easy pickings unless you want to divide half your army to defend them. Kano is making a little bit of a pushback now. The hand and nods flamers are going to do a lot of damage when he's this close to them. Do you see Trio trying to clear up Jamie's back attack? But now we've got Burn pushing in the south as well. It's a very nice little concave. There's no way the harvester's going to get in there. It does want to get there for some reason. Obviously, it will mind what it thinks is the closest Tyrarium, so yeah, I'll just run into all those buggies. Kano does need to keep these turrets alive. He does need to keep the buggies near them. He could possibly sell this one now. He doesn't really have to worry about too much diving. I mean, Trionega was defending him, but they're a bit out of the place now. Burn opting for them light tanks again. He doesn't like them. They have been working for him, same with the flame tanks. Kano is pushing back on Jamie now. You can see this eco of his in the centre has helped him out, but he did lose one harvester a minute ago, so that is probably going to even things out with Jamie. Trionega now taking fight for Jamie and Burn at the same time. I think he's forgot about this little force. It could really help get rid of this. See Kano continuing this turret crawl. But as you can see, Jamie's just backed off a bit. He isn't trying to force a fight into these because it would be a bad idea. Getting harvester picks instead is very important. Trionega is down to just 2 harvesters that are very weak HP. Looks like that one is going to get picked up, is it? It is. Trionega's just down to 1 harvester. It's spelling disaster for Kano and Trionega at this point. They just have no mining eco. Burn's been able to mine pretty much the entire game on 3 ref. He didn't overmine like Trionega did with the 5 ref. The 5 ref mined the starting area out so fast that even at this point Burn is still mining the starting area. So it really puts into perspective how you can overmine Tiberium. I feel like Kano could have probably got a second strip down by now. Even if you just sell off 2 of these turrets, get a second strip, sell the MTV, you've got a better chance of helping out Trionega stay in the game. But he is now dead, he has lost a strip. Burn has pushed through with those light tanks, and Jamie's now going to retreat back because he is under a bit of fire from Kano. Kano has tried to make a counter attack. He can't really move away from these turrets at the minute because he does have the smaller army count. But now you're going to have a problem with Burn pushing these light tanks up in the south. It looks like Kano's going to meet his inevitable end soon. He did incredibly well to hold off Jamie at the start because he did fall behind on the turret count and Jamie did manage to get the centre to himself. So very impressive. But now he's technically against a 6 ref nod with 2 strips, but just different coloured units, so he's not going to be able to pull this one off, unfortunately. He is selling up. It's probably type GG, is the man to say it. And there we go. That's 2-0 to Jamie and Burn. They are playing very well. Burn opting for the lower ref count, but really playing into his hand later the game went. And I don't know, Kano has played very well in both games. We'll see how game 3 goes.
Battle control terminated.
As you can see, Burn was on that free ref the majority of the game, and he still managed to mine more than Trionega just because he pushed some flame tanks early enough to cut the advantage of Trionega's harvesting out. So he bought 4,000's worth of refs more, but still lost them anyway, so you can see that there, the 4,000. And yeah, the unit kills are pretty much all on point. Burn with less, but he was against mostly mechanical units. On to game 3 then. And here we are, game 3 between these Nod mains. We do have Steps of War, and we have Trionega in the top left in orange, Kano in the bottom left is teal, Burn15 in the bottom right and he's red, and Jamie in the top right as yellow. Jamie has opted for a GDI play. He's probably got a bit bored of the Nod shenanigans. I feel like GDI is a lot better early game as long as you've got good ground control. You can do a lot of damage to Nod. I'm guessing I'm going to see some Apaches from both Trionega and khanomancer in this game. That can work in Burn's favour. If Kano does opt for an Apache but Burn doesn't, and Burn gets the earlier strip, Kano can be in a lot of trouble. We see Trionega's gone for that Apache now. Just to help him against those early Grens. It's a good idea. Let's see what everybody's seeing. So, Burn and Jamie not really seen too much, and neither of Kano and Trionega for now. They will see the map once the buggies start popping out, because the first thing you should do with that first buggy is scout the map. Jamie now on free ref. Burn going for that 1 ref strip again. This is the problem when you undercut on scouts and anti-scout. You let a player like Burn not build anything from that hand and nod for a long time, and now he's got tons of money to spend on that strip. 5k he's got to spend on that strip. Now if you're constantly up in their face, you might get a ref pick, you might get a power pick, but this isn't going to be as strong, and you might not get that second ref because he might have had to have built maybe 10 to 15 more flamers just to survive. So he's able to eco out of this one ref strip because there wasn't sufficient pressure. This is why GDI is very good with Grenadiers. You want to put on as much pressure as possible at the start of the game. So if you look at Trionega's money, he's struggling now because he's gone free ref, but he's also getting Gren pushed. So he's having to force this Apache and the Flamers. Khanomancer clearing up that. There is a ref block here, that's cheeky. He has held him off for a long time. He can just put the bike in the way again. Oh, didn't quite get it, but he has got a lot of damage on that harvester. And he has ref blocked this one as well, which is very smart. Burns being 1000 IQ right now. Jamie's now on the 5 ref. If Trionega or Kano can't do anything to him soon and just get the war factories out, they're going to be in big trouble. There's no real point in going turret against bike in my opinion. You can just go hand and nod and get a bit of a swarm against him. Obviously the flame tank is out now. Burn option for that comms tech again. I'm not sure why he sells it. He could have probably put it up here and let Jamie capture it, and then he could have AGT'd this nod as well as get the tanks, which would have been pretty cool. Something to think about, especially if you play 2v2s. Sharing tech is massive. Instead of buying 2 1.5 grand structures, you've just bought one and then let someone capture it for 500. I do see Jamie back down to 4 ref. He might lose another one as well, but there is a lot of Grens here. The Flamers are going to get up in his face. You can't let the flame tanks get this close. Just let them move about. Don't let them get your army. Just keep away from them. Right, the light tank's out now. Get the buggers away. The buggers can be doing something else. Could be going for this ref. Screw the light tanks. Just go get some damage done. Best way to defend these flame tanks is just turrets in good places, and obviously these light tanks are a good choice. Jamie does have tanks out now, but Trionega's only got buggies. This is a very aggressive war factory. He's going to prioritise it. Go straight after Trionega's base. Oh, he's going back to defend. Burn, but I don't feel that's the right decision. He could just literally go straight through into Trionega's base with those tanks. Burn's doing quite well by himself. He's going to finish that power plant with the Apache. It's smart, but he's going to be in a world of hurt soon. Jamie's just sold up, so he's 4 ref all in. Kano's still locked down on that 2 ref because he has been beat up a little bit. I feel like Trionega's issue right now is production, but he doesn't have any money, so he's spending his money. Jamie getting that ref capture, so Kano is down to 1 ref. He's in a lot of trouble. He's got no extra money either, so he can't even bother hand and nod forward. Jamie and Burn doing very well to keep him occupied the entire game. It can cause mistakes in build orders. That's what you really want to be going for in the early game. The more harassment you put on him, the more you make them sweat, the more APM they've got to use. Obviously, you do forget to build things from occasion. There's a lot of tanks. This is game ending out of tanks. He does need to snipe these bikes after this ref. They do need to go. Off they go, look. Burn is now beating out Kano. Kano just doesn't have the eco to keep up. It's 3 versus 1 ref. Obviously, he doesn't have a strip either. Trionega now selling, he's in deep trouble. He's only got 2 ref. We do see basically a 7 ref versus 3 right now. And there's only one way this game's going to go, unfortunately. It looks like Jamie and Burn are going to win this 3-0, which is very impressive because Kano and Trionega are very good players. I'd say a 3-0 would be an upset because I would put both these teams at an even playing field in skill. But I feel like the better team were on the day, it seems. Burn doing very well in this build. He did go very all in most times, but he's made it work. There we go, that's the GG from Trionega. And that is 3-0 to Jamie and Burn, so congratulations to them. They did very well in that series. Like I said, beating out a very tough opponent in my opinion. Khano and Trionega. They're ones to watch. I can imagine they're going to win a lot of the games they play. But Jamie and Burn obviously taking 3 points from that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the scores and then we'll see if we can have a look at the... We'll have a look at the overall leaderboard for the 2v2 matches. So as you can see, Jamie obviously getting the high eco, while Burn just dealt all the heavy damage in the early game. So Jamie basically got to do what he wanted to with GDI as well as hold off Trionega. Very impressive games. Right, so see you on the leaderboard. Well, I'll show you what the scores are currently. So here it is, guys. Here are the leaderboards so far. As you can see, Rat D did play a lot of their games back to back, 4 of them in fact, and they did manage to win all 4 of those series, but they did drop 4 matches, I think. So they have a points differ of 8 instead of a maximum of 12 for winning each series 3-0. We've got Boats and Joes in second. They have a perfect record so far, so 2 matches, 2 wins, and it's been a 3-0 each time. We Need Money in third place, and then Team, Bronzepanic, Triomancer. We still have 2 teams yet to play, and Baron Samedi currently in last, but they are yet to play quite a few games. So yeah, it's heating up. Obviously you can see it's starting to divide the teams that are winning versus the ones that aren't such yet. But there is a lot of good teams in this. It can go either way, especially now that with this scoreboard, you only have to win a map to get a point. So even if you lost 3-2, you still get 2 points. So if you got 2 points from every game, that would be 16 overall. And that might be enough to get you in the top 4. So you could lose every game, but get 2 points in each game, and it might be enough to get you in 4th place. So even if you're losing, it's not too bad. There's still time to catch up. But Rat D are way out in the front, but they have played 4 games. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now. Cheers.